All right. Welcome to Trolls Toys. Figure reviews, toy hunts, unboxing and rankings, unboxing and displays, etc. All right. What's up, YouTube? Trolls Toys back at you with another video. And if you've been watching the toy hauls from week to week, you saw that we picked up a big Joe lot of 12-inch Joes and a bunch of Six Sigma Joes. So I thought, or Sigma 6. Damn it. I never had any Sigma 6 when I was younger, so I always say it backwards because I am a safety guy and Six Sigma is something that we know. But Sigma 6 Joes, right, which are about 8 inches tall. So it took us some time to sort through all of the accessories and things of that nature, but I figured it might be worthwhile just giving you a little update. If, I don't know, I might be the only person that likes I like G.I. Joe in all forms. Can't go back and get to 3 3/4, right? They're just too pricey. Do get the mid-2000s, but we can pick up some of these, I call them failed lines. Right, so we got Snake Eyes, Sigma 6. One version right there. And these are not the swords that came with him, but this is ones that we had that worked best. This is his sword on his back, so, and this is his. So we have some of his accessories, but not all, but that's okay. We don't got to be perfect. All right, this is Sigma 6 Spirit Iron Knife. We are missing Freedom. We do have his backpack, but we don't have the accessories that go in it. We did find his vest and his knives and his spear or arrow for the bow and arrow, but not the actual bow itself. So, but Spirit Iron Knife, I like the way this figure looks. And like I said, maybe I'm the only person that likes Sigma 6, but if so, that's okay. This is Duke. We didn't have any of his actual weapons. We had actually found him a while ago at a flea market, but since I'm getting ready to put them all back on the shelf, I just figured I would include him. And this flips up, if I can get it to flip up so we can see. I'll just take it off so we can see that it's Duke, right? So I just gave him this badass looking knife. And if you aren't familiar, Sigma 6 G.I. Joe was 2005 to 2007, apparently. This is Storm Shadow. Obviously, I don't believe this is his sword, but it is one of the Sigma 6 Joe's swords. But it's going to be Storm Shadow's now. And we have two versions of Storm Shadow as well. The other Storm Shadow is strikingly similar, right? And he has one of his swords. So we can see the differences. Apparently, they gave him a black belt and a red belt version, and then he has gray arms on the black belt version, and he has just like he has on sleeves, and here he just has short sleeves. So Storm Shadow, two versions. All right, if you can believe it, this is Shockwave. We're missing his hat, we're missing his sunglasses, we're missing everything. We just gave him a gun from the lot that we found of we had a bunch of different weapons for 12-inch and Sigma 6 Joes, and we don't have all the characters, so I don't know who this gun belongs to, but we just decided to give it to Shockwave. All right, this is Kamakura, right? He has two versions as well, or we have two versions of him. So we have this version, and then we have a version where he's predominantly yellow, which I'm trying to get out. And he comes with, I don't know what the hell this is, wings? I'm not quite sure. But these are the two versions of Kamakura from Sigma 6. Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes apparently had shitloads of versions, but we have two versions of Snake Eyes and the two versions of Storm Shadow that we showed you. And we have these two versions of Kamakura. This is a character that I did not know his name, had to look it up, still don't know who he is. His name is Lieutenant Stone. Should have a red beret. We're missing it. We're missing basically everything for him. We do have one of his pistols, but not the other. Right? But Lieutenant Stone, Sigma 6. All right. This is Firefly. Right? And we had a lot of his accessories. We have his weapon. We have his swords, or whatever the hell they are. Interesting thing I didn't realize. Look, it said Sigma 6. In Sigma 6, Firefly is a Joe, not a Cobra. But it turns out, obviously, since he is the Cobra saboteur, that he was playing spy for Cobra. I figured it out. I read. So, Firefly. All right, now we've got Destro, right? And I don't think this was his gun. We did find his briefcase, and I'm holding it because I can't get it to stay together. But what the cool feature is, you pull it out, and it is a gun inside his briefcase, right? But I don't know how to make it stay together. It may be broken, but I did think that was a pretty cool concept that they came up with. So Destro, probably one of my favorites of the Sigma 6 Joes, if I have to say so. All right, this is another Joe that I was not familiar with from Sigma 6, or I don't recall even from way back in the day, a Real American Hero. This is Long Range. I don't think this is his weapon, but this is the closest to the weapon that we looked up on the internet that he came with that I could find. So Long Range. All right, the guy that I thought was Barbecue, or had to be Barbecue, is not. It turns out he is a Joe. We found his helmet, we found his axe, we found his backpack, which has a little bit of trouble staying pegged in. I just gave him this random shovel. But this is Inferno. So I guess, obviously, the G.I. Joe firefighter from Sigma 6. I assume he's a firefighter. I don't really know. He could be like Blowtorch. Hell, who knows? But he came with an axe, so I'm guessing firefighter. And then this is Tunnel Rat, right? From Sigma 6. I don't believe he came with this jacket. I don't know who this jacket belongs to. It does seem befitting for Tunnel Rat. It's pretty weathered. So I'm like, the hell with it. We'll just leave it on him. All right, continuing. This would be Snake, the other version of Snake Eyes that we have. And we have, for some reason, this guy really likes Snake Eyes. He had 4 of this character. I traded one to the Emporium. I've got one to go to put in my flea market bin. And I'm keeping these 2 because only one of them came with a jacket. Obviously, I don't think this jacket belongs to him from what I can tell. But maybe it does, but the other 3 didn't have it. But this is the second version of Snake Eyes from Sigma 6 that we have. Once again, I don't believe these are his weapons, but closest I could find. So we gave him a dagger and a sword. So there's another version of Snake Eyes from Sigma 6. All right, this guy is a Cobra Skybat, but we don't have his wings, right? But he came with wings. We did find his weapon, but once again, just a variant of a bat, apparently a bat that can fly, hence Skybat. This is Paratrooper Duke, who we had 2 of. I traded one of those as well. We also have this figure in the box. I believe this is his weapon, or one of his weapons. So yet another variation of Duke from Sigma 6. Just to do a size comparison, we put Firefly back in. The last 2 Sigma 6 figures we have are freaking massive. I don't know why they're so damn big compared to the other ones. But this big bastard is Leatherneck. Right? Once again, couldn't find his weapons, so we just gave him some random ones. I don't even think this is his helmet, but it sort of fits him. So we're using that. That's Leatherneck. He is huge. Our other huge Sigma 6 Joe. Now, we had found 4 Sigma 6 Joes at That's Entertainment in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. 2 Sigma 6 Joes at the Yankee Flea Market in Palmer, Massachusetts, and they were all just figures. And then we got all the rest of these from a vendor that we normally see at the Rieta Ranch Flea Market in Hubbardston, right? This is Heavy Duty. I got Heavy Duty, the figure, from That's Entertainment in Fitchburg, but we didn't have his weapon. But in this big lot of stuff that we bought with the 12-inch and Sigma 6 Joes, we not only got Heavy Duty's gun, but we got it twice. But the second version is missing this, whatever this piece is called. I'm just going to call it a shield. So Heavy Duty and Leatherneck are massive in comparison to the rest of the Sigma 6 Joes, right? They don't articulate very well. Obviously, it wasn't very popular. It only lasted 3 years. G.I. Joe then went back to the 3 3/4 for the 25th anniversary. But I have to say, weapons-wise, Heavy Duty is obviously my favorite, that big-ass gun. Appearance-wise, I'm probably going to say Firefly of the ones I have. And I don't have them on the stands. So Firefly is probably my favorite. Or even though I don't have all of his gear, I think Spirit Iron Knife looks pretty damn sweet, right? So I like the vest. right? And I got a bunch of duplicate 12-inch Joes as well, and I've tried to trade those at various places, but apparently nobody likes Sigma 6 and 12-inch GI Joes but me, I guess. So if anybody likes 12-inch Joes, I have quite a few extras, duplicates. I have the figures, I have some of their accessories, so just put it in the comments. Like, I know I have an extra 12-inch Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Stalker, Duke, Rock and Roll, Sergeant Savage, among others. But I just thought I'd give you a brief update. I'm going to break it up and do the 12-inch Joes in a separate update, but this is just, I just figured we would do a video specific to Sigma 6, and these are the ones that we have so far. So now we're going to get them back on our shelf. But I just figured I'd take a few minutes and show you what we were able to put together and deduce and figure out who some of these guys were. The one that looks the most unlike himself to me is Shockwave, but I guess maybe we never saw his face, or I don't remember his face. I just remember the hooded sculpt from the 3 3/4, and then also from the classifieds. So, as always, this has been Trolls Toys. I truly appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll see you soon. And Shambles, if you're still here, there's Paratrooper Duke in the box. And I forgot, we also have this Arctic Mission Duke, and he was minty. We got him from the Toy Vault Mega Warehouse sale. So he had everything in his little foot locker here. Oh, this on my small soldiers. I just had to move them out of the way. I got small soldiers in Sigma 6, and my few action battlers, or whatever the hell they're called, from G.I. Joe on the same shelf. So I don't want to leave him out. So Arctic Mission Duke, we also have his big weapon. Now I'm signing off. Thanks.